One of the things that we want to do as owners with the people that work for us is share equity with them. Well, why? Because if we do better, they'll do better. And at the end of the day, these are the people that are helping us accomplish our goals, so it's appropriate that we share with them. But there's two fundamental ways that you can share equity with your team. The first one is direct ownership. This is where you directly grant them or give them the right to buy shares in your company. That works great, but let me just caution you on granting. You should need to realize that that is a taxable event. So if you give them shares, they're not going to have the money to pay it. So that can be a little bit difficult. There are some ways to get over it, but granting equals taxable, and it's a little difficult. Allowing them to buy it is more productive, and then they have skin in the game, which is really interesting. One thing you need to remember if you're going to grant direct equity like this is always put a buyback provision in the contract. I've seen a number of situations where somebody left the company, there was no buyback provision, and they continued to benefit from the success of the organization even though they were no longer part of it. So make sure you put that buyback provision in your contract with a specific calculation of the price. The second and probably more popular way to do it is with synthetic equity. This is either options or appreciation rights where they get to benefit from the growth of the company that they help create. They can gain liquidity at some point in the future, but they don't actually own direct equity in your company. So the first problem I indicated, which is somebody leaves the company and they still own equity in your firm, goes away as a result of this. Of course, in this one, you should have a clause that says if they leave the company, they must execute their option to gain their liquidity, and you're going to buy that out from them. You don't want somebody who has options in your company and they're no longer working for you. So that applies in both cases. So when you're thinking about equity, it's either direct equity or synthetic. And I think you can hear from the comments I made that I think synthetic equity is probably the better way from a tax point of view, control point of view, and long-term value point of view.